Okay, so this is
Corgi's game. So let's play it first again. Oh. Oh, mouse to shoot, I guess. Oh, I played this kind of games before. Can I shoot that one? Can we pause it? Huh? I'm just checking that. Oh, sorry.
Do we have to turn the music off or not?
I don't know. There's no way of doing that. It's okay.
You can't stop the desktop audio?
Yeah, I can. Anyway, so.
But yeah.
No pause function, oh no! That is the crucial thing for us streamers. High score 150! Ah, I will. Let's see who gets higher high score. 600 hours later.
Try dying.
No.
Oh, it's not copyrighted? Okay, cool.
Sorry, we already muted it. How far can I go forward? Okay, that's the first I can go forward. So did you make all the art yourself? Oh, I died.
Oh, that was nice too.
Mm-hmm. I like the sound effects too.
Yeah, I like the effects. They're nice.
Sorry, you could hear it in the beginning, so. Wow.
Yeah.
Do I get points for the rocks? Yep. Let's see if I get points for the ships. I get 10 points for the rocks.
How many for the ship?
I can see 5, 10. This is the censored version of the music. So 20.
Okay, cool.
So 20 for so double.
Tutorial, Unity
Oh,
tutorial. Okay, that's good.
Yeah,
This is
What?
you created the high score system and the respawn,
Yeah.
or that was there and you did the rest. Oh, and there's the game over.
Game over.
Okay, also at 1,000 points you get.
Or to restart. I use the same key for my games to restart.
Yeah, this is good.
Let's go through it again. What's the main goal?
To get a high score, I would say.
Yeah. And of course, survive could be another main goal, I guess.
Yeah, that's
It's kind of how you want to see it.
yeah.
But high score would be, yeah. And then if you look at what are the elements of this game?
Well, they would just be the
Well, the ship,
ships and
the lasers,
the asteroids,
the rocks, and maybe the star background could be even an element.
yeah,
Like an
the
environmental,
yeah.
which you can interact with.
And then you have
The
the interface, of course.
Yeah, the interface elements.
Yeah.
So then we would have the player mechanics, which is I can move left, right, up, or down, and I can shoot. And I don't know if there's any other mechanics, but no other mechanics are apparent, at least yet.
And then the system mechanic is basically when a bullet hits an asteroid or a ship, it destroys it, and then it increases the the score by a certain value. And then also that if the score becomes higher than the current high score, it updates that high score to the new current high score.
And also you have lives.
Yeah.
That's a resource in this game, and you only have 3 of them, and if you die, you lose 1, and when you have none left, the game ends.
Yeah.
So that's basically the core loop also of the game, which we actually didn't mention for the last game.
Yeah, so exactly. Now the core loop of the other game was knocking the person over and getting a higher score.
Yeah. And here it's the same, but here you don't have another person, you just have a high score, and that's the core loop.
The other person is basically the enemy AI and the rock AI.
Yeah.
If you would consider it AI.
Now for suggestions, what you could do, for example, of course this is a classic theme and it's a good thing to work on. One simple thing that would be cool to add, like of course you can add whatever features you want, but one thing you need to add no matter what probably is increase the Arash head size is very good.
Yeah. I'm trying to make this so you don't have to.
It's okay.
Get
Don't worry about it.
poked.
I'm getting poked anyway. So one thing you could do is like just increase the amount of things spawning over time. Just that simple thing would make this game already like increase in difficulty. Right now the difficulty is linear.
It's a linear difficulty.
So that would be maybe if you want to work on something, that would be, and already just adding that probably, and then adjusting that to a nice tempo that it increases in a nice kind of a curve.
Yeah.
That would be something I think worthwhile doing.
The other thing you can do is right now that would be very simple is if you just certain for example, you can make a few of the rocks a little bigger, and then you have to hit the bigger rocks twice.
Or they could break up into smaller rocks.
Yeah.
So they don't destroy.
And then you have to hit them. The ships, of course, you can make a bigger ship, or you can change the color slightly with the tint, like make one red, and then those require 2 hits, so that'll already add variety to your game.
Yeah, but I would do personally. I would do the difficulty thing first because that
has the most impact.
Instead of adding features of any kind,
Exactly.
just make the spawning accelerate and then start thinking about the other stuff.
Exactly. Definitely right.
Because not necessarily games don't have to add much of different things.
Nope. You just keep it simple. Imagine if this game just keeps getting faster and faster and faster till the end where you're just like, holy crap, you can barely like...
Yeah, you can do power-ups. Yeah, definitely. If you want power-ups, and you can shoot the lasers in different ways if you want, or extra lives, or, you know, anything you want. I mean, I think it's hard to give suggestions for power-ups because that kind of steers the whole theme of the game. Yeah. And we don't want to kind of tell you what game to make because I think that's up to you to whatever you feel like this game should be.
Yeah.
That's why I try to give also the general advice that, you know, it doesn't matter what probably genre, if you increase the difficulty should though increase. Yeah. But you can also do it another way. You don't have to do it by things spawning in faster. They can just be spawning in more difficult things.
Yeah. One other advice is play some shoot 'em ups.
Yeah, that's a good advice.
That's another thing because you'll get a lot of ideas.
It would be nice if you could shoot also from the keyboard space. That would be really nice. And the other thing is if I could move the ship with the mouse.
Yeah.
That would be 2 things that are very simple. That would be actually quite cool to add, just because different players want to play differently, and that would make it easy. What is the technical term for being able to recognize a certain amount of object at a time and pay attention to what they are doing? And what is the technical term for the limit in which you cannot perform that anymore?
What is the technical term for being able to recognize a certain amount of objects at a time and pay attention to what they are doing? And what is the technical term for the limit in which you cannot perform that anymore?
I don't know. There's probably a technical term, but I'm not familiar with it. Like, well, there is actions per minute that you can do, which maxes out, depending on if you're a programmer, to around 200
Could
per
you
second.
put the music down a little bit?
Yeah.
I'm very old, so my reading is.
Basically, it's asking is there a technical term for how fast a player how much a player can recognize and take in at once, you know, on the screen. Like let's say there's 100 things happening, and then there's a cap on your brain.
Yeah, actions per minute.
It's a term that they use in esports, is how many things you can do per, and that's usually for keyboard. So, for example, in StarCraft, how many things you can do.
Okay. See, no, I got that now. I was confused because the word objects. What's the technical term for being able to recognize a certain amount of objects at a time and pay attention to what they are doing? Now, when you say it that way, now it makes sense. Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's basically, well, you know, it's
And it's very personal also. So you also, when you make a game, don't think that there's just some general average that is going to make all your players, oh, a human being, it's 32.5 and that's it. Because in the end, you know, if you're a casual player, it's much less. And then if you're a StarCraft player, it's like unlimited. Like there's this one guy, for example, he has like, I think he's called the Marine King. And he has like 100 different units, and he's like, it looks like he's individually like moving them all, whereas usually you move them as groups.
I can say one thing that might help you as well. I think it's like a human psychology thing, or not everybody falls under that, but the majority of the common man is that they can kind of handle 3 things happening at one time. And then once you start going beyond the 3, it becomes a lot more complex. So that's something you should keep in mind when you're making a game. Like, for example, well, here we could put hundreds of bullets on the screen and make a bullet hell game out of this. But it's not just... it would still be considered only one thing he has to consider, which is, I need to dodge bullets. So that counts as one. Dodging 1 bullet and dodging 100 bullets, they're still bullet dodging. It's just the difficulty is more. But let's say then, now he has to dodge bullets, and he also has to collect, like, rescue people from different locations. So now you've given him 2 tasks that he has to do almost simultaneously. So it becomes a little bit more complex. Now let's say, what would be a third thing you could throw in there? I'm trying to stick to
keep track of the enemy player or something.
Yeah. Well, here's
a world status of some
Well,
kind?
you could even do this: keeping track of your health and bombs and resources. That's another thing. So let's say that's when your game becomes like, you know, when you're getting kind of pro. I gotta dodge bullets, rescue people, and I gotta keep track of my health because I know how many bullets, or like how many hits I can take, how many bullets I have remaining, how many super bombs that clear the screen, how many I have remaining. So those are 3. And normal everyday people can handle those 3. As soon as you add one more thing to that, it becomes super, super, super complex. And then the game could actually be too difficult. So it's not the amount of objects that's going on, it's the actual tasks that are required of a person.
Another thing that has to do more with the brain and how the brain works is there's something called, like, basically your brain has hardware and software acceleration. Basically one demo test.
Somebody followed us.
Oh.
Hi, Mr. Sai. Did you just follow us, I think? Somebody just followed.
Sorry, missed it. But thanks for following.
Thanks for following. Whoever you were, we just missed it on the screen.
We just caught the noise.
You can put the volume back up, or you already did.
Yeah. No.
That's fine.
So, brain has hardware and software acceleration, basically. So, let's say... So if I just write a lot of text here, and let's just copy it a lot.
Shouldn't that be on the other screen?
Yes, I'm just doing it so...
Okay, never mind.
Don't ask stupid questions!
Sorry, Habibi.
You shouldn't
go
see
left! Why aren't you going left?
So now, if I show this text, how fast can you find the number 5 in this text? This is like...
There isn't a 5 in it.
No, there is. And this is the
You're a bastard.
No, this is your brain working in software mode. It's trying to find the 5 in this text using software mode.
You wrote iPod.
Yeah, iPod. Now, let's go into hardware. I'm not moving it where it is. And this, people won't understand that this is a hardware thing. Like, we can just do one thing. Let's do
italics.
Show more. No, I don't want to do that. I want to actually do color. But can you do color in this? I think you can.
I would just do bold or italics.
No, bold is not a good way of showing this. Where is it? Come on.
I don't.
Can't you do it? You can
I
do
don't
rich
think under
format.
Maybe-
Notepad is the wrong program for me. Sorry, I have to switch to WordPad, I think. Isn't that still in this? There we go. Sorry, it's the same text still, but it's WordPad. I'm sorry. How can I remove that?
line spacing.
Yeah, there it is, I think. 1. Oh, crap. This is going to be a bad example. Well, I can just... The bolding is not exactly... I would like to make it red, but bolding works also. So, let's me bold the number 5. Which I can't now. Why can... Is it only in Mac you can do these things? Mac is... Buy a Mac, guys. Let's do this again. Let's use WordPad. Sorry, guys. You should... I can do a different font in Notepad, I think. Can you? Well, you can, actually. So here we go. What the hell? Nothing works now. Everything is broken. The keyboard is broken. See? So here we go. We did create a lot of text. So here again is the example of find the number 5. Your brain working in hardware mode, software mode. So it's like software, it's slow, it's trying to brute force its way through to where the 5 is. And then if I'm not going to change anything else, I'm just going to change the color of the 5 and try to find it now. And I'm very sure you'll find it much faster. Except Arash, who can't read. So, let's see if you can even see it. Yeah. It's a bit small for you guys also. But basically the 5 is here, if you didn't notice. Also highlighting it. And this just shows that there's, of course, like, let's say if you have a crazy amount of text to read, it's sometimes very slow. But sometimes an icon is faster for your brain to understand what's going on. Visual indicators and stuff like that. So this is not, it's not that your brain is hardwired, so it's hardware accelerated to do certain things, and some things are software. There's no other difference than this is color, and you can just instantly find it. And then the other rule, which I was gonna go to, which is Gestalt, which is German. For all you German people here, I think he was German, or then he was Austrian, and then I suck. But basically, or actually I can use Photoshop now instead of Google.
Oh shit, I spilled some water on your desk.
This is it's not a complex theory. Don't worry about the water, this is not made of wood.
I'm evenly distributing the water.
Yes.
I'm massaging the water now.
Take off your shirt and use that too. So, the other thing is, like, which is good to know, there's Gestalt. You can Google it and you'll find more examples. But there is a reason why your brain understands, let's just choose a pen. Actually, I can use my Wacom. Does it work? Oh, I can't get to that. Oh, can't get to that screen. So let's just choose color. So there's a reason your, let's do a regular. So there's a reason why your, pen, yeah, exactly. Where your brain sees these as 3 dots. Yeah, it means whole, but this is a Gestalt principle. So basically, if I now draw out 3 other dots here, your brain will almost instantly recognize this as a group of dots, and this is a group of dots of 3 dots. And these are certain rules because you left space here. So let's say that you now have a player, he's here.
And you have a smiley man.
A smiley man. And then you have 1 billion objects here. At some point, these objects are going to be so many. You know, all these are bullets flying. There's some point where the player actually will not see all these single bullets, but he will just see a mass of clouds moving. That's a single object.
Yeah.
And he just see this space which he needs to be in.
Yeah.
And this has to do with Gestalt. Like, as long as there's just a couple of these, he will track these as individual. Instantly, there's enough of these where it becomes a black cloud of bullets, and one shoots out of here and one out of here. He's just gonna see it as one mass of things, and then it's hardware accelerated.
And that's why people can play bullet hell games. Like when I'm playing those really fast-paced shooting games, I don't even look. I'm kind of looking at the whole screen at one time.
Keep your eyes up, audience, while others talks.
I'm not looking at the whole screen. I mean, I'm looking at the whole screen at the same time. I'm not fixated on one area. I'm just moving my one little point amongst this huge mass.
Yeah, and of course, Gestalt is not only that. It's much more. I can, of course, for those people who didn't Google Gestalt principles, there is a lot of them. There's different ones of them, and you can read up on them. Like the one I used was proximity, where this feels like one cube, and this feels like several cubes, even if there are also the same amount of cubes. This looks like it's a whole one piece, even if it's not.
It's like
blah,
people
blah.
and a tree at the same time.
Yeah, so there's a lot of these principles. You can read up on them. They're very interesting, but I don't know if the other one's that much to the question at hand. But these are also things that can help you. Like if you're trying to figure out how much can you push the player, is that can you make it hardware accelerated? You can push them a bit more again. And they will feel awesome because they think that they're so awesome suddenly when, oh, I'm dodging 1 million bullets. In the beginning, I had problems dodging 3.
One thing in addition to that, you should try to, the more you can make your game... Shoryuken!
The more you can Shoryuken!
The more you can Dragon Punch.
The more you can one punch.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, shit. There we go.
Hey, he's bold.
This is one... Oh, shit, we revealed your secret identity. Put on the glasses again, fast.
Oh, no one knows.
Oh, Clark Kent, you are safe.
Yes. But you should always keep in mind that, like we were joking earlier about colorblind people, but you should try to use several of those principles to handle a function. You can use groping. You can use groping.
This is his own. This is like a Raj principle. Use groping and staring. Immense staring. And then forget things. That will entice them to maximum height.
But you can group things and use color together so that the colorblind people, if they don't get the color, they get the group, as an example. So, but the more you use it, the easier it is for someone just to be like, well, as Bjorn said, it's easier for the hardware to kick in because, I already know this. Yeah.